What is going on, my beautiful people? I hope you guys are doing amazing freaking lead today, man. In this video, what we're going to be talking about is being able to live in the love of the Lord and how that actually looks, what that really means, man. So for myself, I have been wanting to live in that love of the Lord for the longest time, but I never really understood, like, what is that? How's that going to look? How's that going to be? What is the point of it sometimes? Sometimes we think that. So for myself, I used to want to, I don't know, sometimes it was hard to love everybody. It's hard to love the people that are a little bit harder to love sometimes. Sometimes people make it a little bit tough. And whoever that might be for you, sometimes it's just like you want to be in that loving energy. And it's not even that you don't like that person. It's just like sometimes that energy is going to clash with your energy. And it's just going to be something that's going to be a little bit freaking hard to go about. So for me, sometimes my father can be a little bit, however it's going to be. I love my father. He's an amazing person. He's an amazing guy. But sometimes his energy is going to come in and he's going to tell you to just go do something. He's going to tell you to if he gets mad, he's going to get a little bit upset and it's going to be hard. You're going to have to navigate that emotional energy. I don't want it to seem like my dad's an amazing father, but just sometimes it's hard to be in that loving energy if he's going to say something or do something that's going to kind of make it a little bit hard. But I realized at first it's like, we might think, I wish they could be a little bit different. I wish they could a little bit change here, change there, do a little bit of this. But as I went on my journey, I realized that it's not even just my father, man. Like, there's people in our lives in general. You realize that everybody's flawed. Everybody has mistakes, including myself. I'm not perfect. I am sure that I do stuff that pisses people off and stuff like that. But I realized that those people, unless they want to, a lot of times they're not going to change. They're going to be themselves. So that made me realize, okay, now what's the next move? The next move is for us to change our internal state, change on the inside, live in love. And that's one of the biggest verses that I saw in there. So Jesus tells us one of the verses is that he who lives in love lives in me, lives in God, lives in Jesus. If you live in love, you are living in Jesus. That's a beautiful thing. That means that's a kind of a marker to tell us if we're living in that love, we're closer to God. We're building a relationship. So I was like, all right, let me keep an eye on that. And I started to develop kind of frameworks for okay, how can I live in love? What's some things that I can do? And one of the things I started to dive into is the cross. That cross is a beautiful freaking thing. That was a different thing because it showed me, that, and then also, firstly, living in love showed me, okay, we have an opportunity to do that. There's another thing that Jesus says to the disciples before he leaves them. He says, "For I have commanded you to love others like how I have loved you." And when you look at the cross, Jesus is on the cross. He has done nothing wrong. He's just treated everybody good. But he continues on the cross to say, "Forgive them, Lord, for they know not what they do." That type of love is a real unconditional love. It's a beautiful freaking thing. And I wish to get into that. And I realized how much I don't really love as much as I thought I loved. You know what I'm saying? That is real love. Jesus has a real love. I am nothing compared to Jesus. We are nothing compared to Jesus. But it's a good marker to know, okay, that's what he's talking about. That's real unconditional love, not needing anything back. Even in his dying moments when they put him on a cross, he continues to love them. Amazing. And there's also another verse that says, while we were yet sinners, God showed his love for us, but that while we were still sinners, he sent Jesus down on a cross to die for us. What a beautiful thing. While we were yet sinners, the mistakes we made, think about that, all of the mistakes we made. And you think about it, for myself, I think about the mistakes I've made, and I'm like, Lord, you still love me despite that. You still treat me, listen to me, talk to me, guide me, even though I've made these mistakes. And if you can think about that, he who is forgiven greatly will forgive greatly, will continue to live in love. And once I started to dive into that and think about that, meditate on that. Another thing you can do is meditate on God's loving kindness. In the morning when you wake up, think about God's love towards you. What has he done for you in the day? If you think about his loving kindness in the morning and his faithfulness at night, think about the things that you've had throughout the day that you're grateful for. And in the morning, think about how he's setting you up, the little things that he's done, how many beautiful things that he's just given you in the moment, how grateful you are, and just anything that you can. I like to meditate on him dying on the cross and stuff like that, knowing how much he loved us for that while we were yet sinners. Those scriptures, the stories in the Bible of God's loving kindness that we were able to see, if we can meditate on that, it gets us more into that love. I would literally be in the bathtub and doing a guided meditation on that loving kindness, thinking about him on the cross and stuff like that, and how he just forgives us. And you start to get into the love, and I would even cry and let it all out. And then in that instant, if you think about that person that might be a little bit hard to love at the moment, or hard to be in that loving energy that you really want to get to, not saying that you don't love them, but saying that there's another level that you know that you can get to with that person where their energy doesn't affect you and you can just give freely. If you think about them in that moment, it's a completely different thing. Completely different thing. It's just so much love and forgiveness and mercy, and you just want to give them a hug. And one of the times when I was doing this, I literally went over there and I just gave my dad a big hug, said how much I love him. And I'm just realizing it more and more, like, I don't want to grow old and be like, oh, I wish I would have loved my dad better, anything like that. And you know, he could be difficult sometimes, but he's an amazing person. And it's just like, I know that I can get more and more into that now, right now. And we have the opportunity to do that for the people that are hard to love. Man, it's just such a beautiful thing, because, you know, you just find yourself like overwhelmingly extruding that love. And I would just be sending out messages to people. Oh, I sent out a message yesterday to my dad, just telling him to have an amazing day and I love him. And that's just such a beautiful thing. Just sending all this love to my girlfriend, sending a whole bunch of gifts, because it's just the love coming out to my mother, everybody, man. It's a beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. And the realization is that when you're in that, that means that you're close to God. What a beautiful thing to be close to God in there. And I just realized that it wasn't about me needing other people to change. It was about me changing on my own. What a beautiful thing. Hope you guys are able to do that today. Hope you guys are able to get into that love, man. Let's do that every single day. I hope you guys are doing amazing today. Let me know down in the comments below, how loving are you today? I love you guys. Peace.